Thank you very much. Obviously, first we've heard from McCarthy reacting to that leaked audio, and now to some news.
Yeah, and apparently it has happened. We know that a couple of weeks ago, Elon Musk put in an offer of almost $44 billion to buy Twitter, and apparently we're hearing it is now a done deal. That Twitter's board, after much consideration, has decided that they're going to take his offer. The last we heard, it was around $54 a share, but because, as Sandra pointed out earlier, the share price was rising, Musk might have had to kick in another billion or so dollars. But it looks like Twitter is going to be transitioning from a public company to a privately held company now with Elon Musk at its head. And Sandra, everybody's wondering what this is going to mean, and apparently a lot of liberals have been almost losing their minds over this idea.
This is a done deal. The press release is officially out. Elon Musk to acquire Twitter. The deal, $54.20 a share, $54.20 a share. The news we knew was coming as of a few minutes ago, John, because Twitter shares, which have been spiking in anticipation of this news, were halted a few minutes ago pending news. So the stock is still not reacting because it's been halted so that this press release could come out. But this deal is valued at approximately $44 billion. I mean, that is an unbelievable amount of money. It will become upon the completion of this transaction, Twitter will become a privately held company. And it goes back to that Wall Street Journal piece that Bill Hemmer and I were digging into last hour. What exactly does this mean, and what exactly will he do with this company? Many are wondering whether or not he'll expose the algorithms inside that company, shake up leadership within that company. Will employees who have threatened to leave if he buys this company, will they actually follow through on that? There's a whole lot of questions about what he is going to do with this company, but it is, as of a few moments ago, it's a done deal, and Musk has disclosed his approximately 9% stake in the company.
Yeah, well, said he wanted more transparency. He wanted less censorship. He said that he hopes that his own critics will continue to be active on Twitter because that's what free speech is all about. Tom Shalhoub is with us. We were going to be talking about a different topic, Tom, about woke world gone wild. But this is some breaking news here, and wondering what your thoughts are. The fact that every time you hit tweet, the man at the top is going to now be Elon Musk.
Well, obviously, this is a victory for free speech because he campaigned on free speech and he said, I'm buying the company to make it more free. And I think I noticed this morning a tweet from Elon Musk. He said, to those people who criticized me, instead of leaving Twitter, I want to welcome you to continue working on the platform because I want to hear your voice as well. So he's telling his critics in a way that, you know what politicians do? Whenever they win an election, they say, hey, I want to reach out to the people who didn't vote for me. He's kind of saying that. He's saying everyone is welcome on Twitter. So I would hope that this is going to reverberate, and maybe some of the other high-tech companies who've been engaging in censorship and shadow banning and other things are going to follow suit and say, hey, maybe people are serious about this free speech thing.
Just digging through it, there is a massive amount of reaction to this news on Twitter. But I mean, it is a monster of a deal. And he has left everyone wondering, as he always does. He's a very unpredictable business leader. And he's left everybody wondering what he is going to do now. That this is a done deal. I believe I'm going to bring in Jerry Willis. Are you with us now, Jerry?
I am amazed.
She's plugged in and ready, and she is reacting to this as well. I'm digging through the press release, and the Twitter CEO says, quote, in that release, Twitter has a purpose and relevance that impacts the entire world. Deeply proud of our teams and inspired by the work that has never been more important. Talking about free speech, the bedrock of a functioning democracy, says Elon Musk in this release. Twitter's the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. And that is for sure. That's happening this moment about this deal.
Well, I think what's so interesting here, it was only a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that Elon came out with an offer, right? Twitter said, no way, no how, we're not doing this. It's not going to happen. Absolutely not. And now here we are going forward with a plan. And why? Because over the weekend, Elon was meeting with some of these investors in Twitter saying, hey, look, I feel your pain with the share price here, and I'm willing to come in, and we're going to change this company. Now, I got to tell you, it is a high hurdle to do what he wants to do. He is talking about having people own their Twitter feeds. You would pay for the exposure instead of it being free. That's something brand spanking new. But there's going to be a lot of work to do going forward. And the big question, of course, what are the employees going to do? A lot of them have complained about Elon Musk coming in.
Well, they're shareholders, and they're going to be paid out. They're going to be received $54.20 in cash for each share of Twitter common stock that they own upon the closing of this transaction. As you can see, year to date, the stock has been coming up, and significantly so just in recent weeks since this was revealed. The purchase price is a 38% premium to Twitter's closing stock price, John, on April 1st. So, I mean, it's been on a wild ride.
It's a fascinating business deal, to be sure. And the fact that you take a huge publicly traded company like this private is no question a big deal from the business perspective. But this is a social upheaval, really at its core. You know, the billions of dollars aside, what Elon Musk does with this his property, which has gone global and is doing things like covering the Ukraine war each and every day, is really going to be fascinating to watch as a social experiment.
It will be indeed. And we're going to dig into this at 4 o'clock. I'm in for Neil. Join us then. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Sandra.